and she wants to be like tweet. Ooh, there goes my shirt up over my head. And I was
You're
like,
not
girl,
wrong.
okay.
You're not wrong.
What in
Are you talking about Jane?
Yes.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
She did say, "Ooh, there goes my shirt right over my head." Oh my.
Back to where this all began. Do you want to go to the era? What the hell is going on?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nerd Collision. I'm Eddie, that's Britt, and that's Brandon, and today we're going to be giving our spoiler review of Doom Patrol Seasons 4, episodes 3 through 6. Now, this is going to be our spoiler review of episodes 3 through 6 of Doom Patrol. So, if you have not seen these episodes, go ahead and watch them, and then come back and listen to our review. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started, and we will go right into episode 3, titled Nostalgia Patrol. Now, this episode, Vic reunites with his old classmates, including his best friend Derek. While hanging out, Derek confronts Vic on distancing himself from the others after his accident. The two eventually make up, and Derek gives Vic his old robot for safekeeping. Rita receives an invite to a screening of her classic films. However, when she arrives, she is trapped within the movies. The Doom Patrol decide to help Laura make amends with Rita by going to her movie screening, but they also end up being absorbed into the movies, minus Laura, who manages to escape. The gang eventually learns from an individual within the movies that a person named Dr. Janus is looking to acquire Rita's emotions. Laura returns to the mansion and looks up Dr. Janus's files, but finds no way to defeat her and wallows in self pity. The gang manages to find Rita, but is trapped by the individual who is revealed to be Janus's accomplice, Mr. 104. Janice implores Rita to save her friends, allowing her to drain the last emotions needed for Immortus's arrival. The gang is saved by Keeg, but Rita remains unconscious as they are teleported out of the illusion. And that ends that episode. I thought this episode was okay. It was pretty cool to see Miss Rita back in her classic films in that era. She loves that era. And look, she was a star, And I thought this episode was pretty interesting to say the least. But what did you guys think?
I enjoyed this episode. I'm not too familiar with the Immortus storyline, but
Hmm.
I guess we're going after everyone's longevity this season
Mm.
because that is a quality that I believe that the chief made sure everyone had, um, so that they age normally like the rest of us, which is interesting when you really think about it. Um, and I will say some of these characters are intriguing, and I hope we get to see more of them, and they're not just like one-offs. Um, I did like, the scenes of Rita going through the motions of her past and everything like that. I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting because we've only seen like so much um, of her past, and I've always been fond of Rita's character because I think April does a great job playing her. Um,
Yes.
but my God, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of rushing this story. I hope it's not, the entire season plot because I do want them. I wish I want for them to explore other things, and hopefully they can wrap this up by like episode 8 or 9. I believe that there's 12 episodes this season, so the mid-season finale just aired this past week. Um, so there's 6 more to go.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm sure it's just going to be the whole season's going to be about this Immortus plot line, which I don't really have an issue with, but I wish that, you know, they would explore other things because that's what I've always enjoyed about Doom Patrol is that each episode was different and they had a different enemy to face every week, and
Right.
that's what made it work for me. And it would somehow fit into the entire season's plot line. But with this, it's just like people working towards this Immortus character. So I'm just like, okay. And I believe one of the actors from Heroes is in here. Um,
Oh yeah.
I forgot his name, who his name is, but he has like abilities as well. And I believe he was a victim, just like Larry was back at the bureau. So I'm interested to see what's going on with him. Maybe we'll get a little bit more tea. But overall, it was a good episode. I'm going to give it, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it a strong 8.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I want to see the aging, like all the liver spots and whatnot. I want to
There's
see
liver
what
spots.
would it be when they actually age. But that's my take on it. Like, I want to see what would happen. Like, what would they look like? Ooh.
Lots of crow's feet, gray hair,
Good point.
and
Oh yeah, big time, big time. All right, guys. So with that being said, we'll move on to episode 4, titled Casey Patrol. Now, sometime after parting ways with the Doom Patrol, Dorothy has managed to reacquire Calder's necklace, which used to keep him immortal, in order to conjure his spirit and reunite with him. While staying with Danny the Street and their residents, she distances herself from the rest of the community. One night, a swarm of cybernetic bugs invades the street, converting the residents into robots, minus Dorothy and Maura Lee. Dorothy realizes the robots are the same ones from her favorite comic book series, Space Case, and manages to materialize the heroine Space Case, aka Casey Brink. Dorothy and Casey explain to Maura Lee that the attack is orchestrated by Torminox, Casey's nemesis, who is also her father. The trio confronts Torminox in real life, but Casey hesitates to take him down while he manages to capture Danny and defeat the Candlemaker easily. Later, Casey attempts to plead with Torminox, but he ignores her while demanding Dorothy's necklace. She hands it over while revealing that she had never reunited with Calder, and she was trying to distance herself from Danny and the others to not be reminded of him. After Torminox retreats with the necklace, Maura Lee gathers the community and implores them to embrace the real world when they are ready. Casey and Dorothy decide to go to Cloverton to find the author of the Space Case comic book. Unbeknownst to them, the author is working with Janice and Torminox and preparing for Immortus' arrival, as the author tells Torminox that Immortus might help them live out their dreams. And that's where we end this episode. I really like this episode. It's always cool to hang out with the street. I love Maura Lee's character. Space Case kind of low key gave me Captain Marvel vibes, so I really enjoyed that. I'm just saying.
I could see that.
I was like, oh, Carol Danvers, how cute. But I was like, oh, that's so nice of them. But
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. It was pretty good, and that was a nice little revelation, from Dorothy reminding Calder. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. What do you guys think?
I like the episode.
Mhm.
I feel like every season we get to get a sneak peek of what Danny's doing, and our favorite drag queen and friends, what they're up to.
Yes.
And I've always appreciated that they revisit them, even if it's just for one particular episode of the season. I have to say, I told y'all I don't really care for Niles' daughter. I feel like she is a waste of space. I mean, how does the Candlemaker get his ass whooped by a fictional alien? Make it make sense, Jesus. Make it make sense. And then your dumbass handed it over. Girl, you should have ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah that ass. I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed in you. Um, yeah, but seeing the Candlemaker getting turned into a cube, I was just like, girl, this is boring. I was just like, this is unreal. This is not realistic, as the meme says. It's not realistic. It was just not happening for me. I agree with Eddie. It was this case, space case, put her hands on her hips. It was giving. Uh, I'm too busy in space. My name is Carol Danvers, and I ain't got time for you Earthling hoes. Um, I mean, let's be real. That's always been her gig. Um,
Yeah.
she doesn't care about us. She doesn't care about Medicare, nothing like that. She cares about space care. She cares about things like that. She cares about Uranus, things like that. But yeah, I was over Space Case. I was kind of bored with her character. No shade. No shade to the actress. It's just the writing this particular episode, it just wasn't doing it for me. The robot drag queens, that was kind of interesting.
Mhm.
Frankly, some of those girls could have replaced the girls that were on this past episode Drag Race. I said what I said. Y'all can guess who I was talking about. Um, but that being said, it was still an all right episode. I'm hoping that whatever they're going to do is significant to, the season's plot and they can get some shit done and make me proud at the end of the day because my God, the girls are getting their asses handed to them like they're nothing. And y'all bitches, like Jane, girl, you got like 40 bitches up in there. Find one to
Right.
kick someone's ass. I'm tired of y'all sitting on your hands. And when it's time to come and fight a bad bitch, you guys wait until the season finale to do so. You guys should be on it. And I don't mean Jasmine Sullivan. This is just ridiculous. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, step it up, call the girl, and let's get it moving.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty, and Britt?
So we got a Butch now, Butch Dampers or Soft Dampers? Which one we got?
A
Dampers. Which
butch
one we
top, a butch top,
got? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soft butch.
Okay.
soft
Soft.
butch top.
Then why we got new characters? Why can't we stick with the same characters we've always had? You know what? Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Alrighty, guys. With that being said, we will move on to episode 5 titled Youth Patrol. Now, Larry attempts to track down Keeg and encounters Mr. 104, who has been forced to host Keeg in his body. Through Keeg, Larry learns that Mr. 104 was once a man named Rama, who was constantly being experimented on by the Bureau. As a result, Rama has joined forces with Janice and pledged to Immortus, hoping to reverse his condition before it goes out of control and causes a mass extinction event. Larry pleads with Rama to find an alternative solution. Just as Keeg returns to Larry's body, a dimensional portal sucks him in, and Rama follows in pursuit. At the manor, Kipling reveals to the Doom Patrol about Immortus, who is an ancient deity capable of eliminating reality. He also reveals that Calder once spoke of having a piece of Immortus, which he used as a catalyst for his necklace, as well as his experiments on Larry, Rita, Cliff, and Jane to retain their longevity. Rita wakes up and finds that she is aging, prompting her to look in Calder's office for a remedy. She breaks a vow containing a de-aging spell, which also affects the Doom Patrol and Kipling. The team set out to find Kipling's mentor to reverse the spell, but the team, driven by their youthful demeanor, decide to attend a pool party. Rita and Laura break off on their own and finally make amends after a tearful conversation. After talking to Jane about friendship, Vic decides to go see Derek, though he returns into a child by the time he gets there. As the de-aging spell accelerates, Bunbury and the Knights Templar arrive at the party and turn Kipling back to normal, while Bunbury proceeds to extract Jane's longevity after she turns into a baby. And that ends the episode. This was a pretty interesting episode to see some of the Doom Patrol, hang out with the young folks and party a little bit. Um, that was pretty interesting. And seeing the relationship that's seeming to develop between Larry and Mr. 104 was pretty interesting as well. But yeah, this wasn't a bad episode. What'd you guys think?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. There's a
Uh-huh.
Knights Templar.
Oh
So
yeah, oh
we're in the Captain
yes.
Creed now. Okay. So that's where we're at. Okay. I'm gonna go over to my left. Okay. Uh so what I love about what I've seen from it is like, Cliff is in his old car and then you see Willoughby in the back and I'm like, is this supernatural? Are we back here again? Didn't we end like in 2020? Are we still going? I mean, Supernatural is canon to DC, so I mean, you never know. But as far as episodes go, I did like this one. Oh, there goes my trust, my head, oh my. But okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Let's not butcher that R&B classic.
Okay, clap. Okay.
It is a classic, Brit, whether you want to acknowledge it as one or not.
Yeah.
And yes, it does belong on the Rolling Stone list.
We're not. No.
Yeah, I went there. Anyway, this episode was interesting to me. This was the Emmy for your consideration episode because everyone was having that deep conversation and being like, as gay people, we gotta choose our family.
Yes,
It was
yes.
giving me that. Lots of tears, lots of crying. Miss Gomez was giving it to you. She was crying. She's like, Rita, I hurt you so much. And I was just like, girl. No shade. No shade. I was just like, cry now. We can have a therapy session later. You guys are literally turning into fossils as each minute passes. Can we get a move on, please? Thank you very much. Everyone else, Jane was turning into a baby literally before our very eyes by the moment she turned around. And we get to see the after effects of that. And Cliff as well is just being Cliff. I mean, poor Brendan Fraser. I mean, can the man catch a break? He just wanted to hold his grandson. That's all, and feel.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's been taken on this raw. Right. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it. Cliff, you need a therapist. You need a therapist bad, and not one of those superhero therapists. A regular therapist, okay? Because it just comes with so much extra drama. You just need a regular therapist to talk, so you can talk about your bullshit. And yeah, it may take 60 weeks before you even let the therapist get a word in, but at least you'll have your own human journal. And that's what you need because you got a lot of baggage. Cyborg, Mr. Wade, that British young man, he's been very fortunate. He doesn't have to wear any prosthetics this season.
Yes.
Very fortunate. And I'm kind of sick of it. I'm going to be honest with you. Greg Berlanti, is that his name, Eddie?
Yes.
Mr. Greg, I know you're one of the girls. I'm going to need you to put Mr. Wade back in his cyborg drag.
Yes.
Getting a little tired of this chapter. We don't need it.
No.
I don't require asking for it. You could have made it more fun and made him have like a little Power Ranger thing where he just presses a button and then he booyahs up. I thought that would have been cool too. But plot, and I'm sure he probably will get back in cyborg drags at the end of the season. Hopefully. The butt apocalypse. Let's end that. Let's end that. I'm tired of the butts. The butts have been around since season 1, and I think we can do better. You know, pluck that green man from Titans and throw him in the mix. Give
It's
Cyborg to
time.
Titans. It's time
Yeah. Yeah.
because Beast Boy is a member of the Doom Patrol.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's
So
time.
do whatever NBA trade you guys have to do and send Wade over to Titans
Hmm.
and Beast Boy over to Doom Patrol.
Yes.
And that's that.
Fair enough. Alrighty, guys. With that being said, we'll move on to episode 6 here. And this will be our mid season finale titled Hope Patrol. Now, after the de aging spell is reversed, Cliff advises Jane to make the most of her remaining life instead of pursuing Immortus. She visits Shelley and attempts to confess her feelings, but is conflicted between her desire to live for herself and her self imposed duty to protect Kay. Larry is taken to the pocket dimension, Croth, by the Scissorman. They just look so funny to me. Sorry. They are mindless drones with scissors for hands. Rama saves him and takes him back to the manor via a portal before Keek intervenes and takes both of them back. Rita and Laura infiltrate the ant farm to learn more about the Immortus project, but find its records missing, having been borrowed by an inmate named Wally Sage, a metahuman who was labeled a weapon by Laura in the past. They visit Wally's cell, but upon seeing Wally, Rita panics and transforms into a blob, seemingly killing Wally. Vic and Derek return to the manor and pursue Larry through the portal, while Cliff convinces Jane to continue their fight against Immortus. An injured Kipling arrives, informing the two of them that Bunbury was killed by Immortus's agents who took Jane's longevity, but they ignore his warning. Keek reveals to Larry his vision of the future, where he was forced to kill the latter and protect the universe, believing that Immortus can allow the two of them to stay together. Larry allows his longevity to be extracted. Meanwhile, Vic, Derek, and Cliff and Jane are captured by the Scissormen while they are greeted by Wally and two other Immortus agents. Cliff realizes that he didn't close the freezer all the way, causing the werebutt to thaw and get loose. And that's where we end this episode. And this wasn't a bad mid-season finale. I am interested to see how they wrap this all up. Um, but yeah, and I guess there was a part of me that really felt bad for Jane. I did want to see her, get back with Shelley, but that's a little difficult situation right there. But yeah, it looks like we still got whereabouts to deal with, seemingly. Well, what did you guys think of this episode?
Ciao. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going, Greg? Where are we going? The whereabouts. I'm tired of it. We got enough going on right here. We got the girls trying to steal the girls' immortality just so that they can, I don't know, cause the apocalypse. This is ridiculous. I'm tired. Jane, I feel bad for her. You know, sometimes you want smoke inside your vagina. I'm not one for that, but she is. And she deserves that if that's what she truly wants for herself. I'm rooting for you. Um, and Kay is the evil girl. I'm
Agreed.
sorry. I'm just gonna say it. Uh, because what is this puzzle piece thing that we're doing here? What are we doing here with that? I don't get it. There's no prizes at the
Right.
end of the day. You know, I don't get a cash tip of $2,500. There's nothing. There's nothing. And then Larry, my God, he's been a submissive bottom all season. And I don't remember him being a submissive bottom early in the early season. I felt like he
I
was the
don't
one doing the
either.
bending.
Yeah,
For that other guy. I can't remember. I think he was bending the other guy over. I could have
I think it
sworn
was
Mr.
too.
Bowman was the top.
That's what I thought. That's how I was reading into it.
I'm just saying, it just my calculations they weren't calculated that week. Sorry.
That's okay.
Can you guys hear me? We're all good?
It's a little low. It's a little low.
Okay. Just let it pass.
Okay.
But yeah, this episode was interesting. Looking forward to the season finale. To see what they're gonna do with that. I wanted a sneak preview of in the weeks to come, at least. We didn't
Yeah.
get that, unfortunately, but it is what it is. That's life. I think they're honestly, I feel like they're filming it now, maybe. And maybe that's
Yeah.
what they meant when they wrapped earlier the last couple of months, that they wrapped the first 6 episodes, maybe. But even that kind of doesn't make sense to me because I think they've been filming since May 2022. So maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like it takes a couple weeks to film those hour-long TV shows. So whatever y'all cooking up for the last 6 episodes of this season, I hope it's worth it because I'm a little underwhelmed. Season 3 packed more of a punch, and you know, I don't know. Not saying I don't like this season at all, but I just hope it's worth my while. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. All right, and Britt.
Greg. Hi, Greg. Greg Berland. Hello. You better be going somewhere great with this, or James Gunn is gonna give you the boot. I'm just saying, he's gonna give you the boot, just like with Titans. The boot. I'm interested to see where this goes and how this ends or doesn't end. It depends on James, and we'll see. We'll see. Greg, you better come with it. I'm just saying, or you will get le boot. Like Henry and Gall and probably Jason and not sure about Ezra, but just do your best.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely agree. All right, guys. Well, that ends it right there. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
Give me the action. Give me the drama. Give me the drag. Give me the lip sync.
Yes.
Oh, wrong stuff. The same thing that you guys brought magic-wise season 3. Give that to me here, please. I don't know if HBO threatened y'all and said, make it so bad that we cancel y'all or else. I don't know. But please, because if you guys force me to watch Titans, I will never forgive y'all. Now, how's that for motivation, Mr. Berlanti? Get to it, girl. Get to it. And I rest my case.
Agreed 100% with that statement. I agree with that.
Berlanti. Hi, Greg. I will be praying for you. That your shows do not get canceled. Just saying. I'll be praying for you and hope James shows you mercy. That's all.
Oh my gosh, you guys. All right, well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our spoiler reviews for Doom Patrol episodes 3 through 6. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought about this first half of season 4 of Doom Patrol. Also, remember to click the bell button for notifications so that you know whenever we have new videos here on the channel. And please follow Nerd Collision on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Once again, I'm Eddie. That's Britt. That's Brandon. We are Nerd Collision. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, motherfuckers, or else. Subscribe.
If you don't subscribe to this channel, I swear to God, I'll
Come on,
kick your
babe.
fucking
You
ass.
know you want to subscribe. Me and the girls, we're gonna play Yahtzee later. You want to join?
We're gonna go on a shopping trip, babe. You know, you want to go on a shopping
We're
trip
gonna go
in Malibu,
sunbathing.
babe?
Girls' night. Bro, that's a really good impression.